Welcome to another normal review. This one is for the Polaroid Snap Instant Camera. Let me just start off by apologising for the sound of the rain. It's a very rainy day here and I'm filming this in my garage, so I apologise for that and I hope you can hear me okay. So the Polaroid Snap I've had for a couple of months now, and I found it to be a lot of fun in social situations like going out and hanging out with friends, and even taking to work if you just want to waste a bit of time and get some snaps of your co-workers. The body I've got is the white finish, which I think is quite nice and crisp. It also comes in red, blue and black versions, so you've got the choice of those 4 colours. So the body itself, I'm just going to give you a little tour using my phone. So you can see here at the back you've got the slot which basically you open to put in the refill paper. You've got a strap here to put around your wrist in case you drop it. On the top you've got the dial which basically selects your colour settings. You've got mono or grayscale, you've got full colour, and you've got sepia. That second button there basically indicates whether or not you put a frame around it. So you can have borderless shots, which is pretty cool. You don't have to have those white borders which a lot of instant cameras tend to have. On the right hand side, the big red button is your shutter button, which basically takes the photo, and you've got a 10-second self timer button which is right next to it. On the front you have got the lens cap, which is Polaroid branded, and there are no straps to it, so it's basically a magnetic cap, so when you drop it on it just clicks right on. You never have to worry about sort of it dropping off. So on the bottom you have got a standard 1/8 inch tripod mount, and on the sides there, that is where the paper comes out, and on the other side you have got a micro USB and a micro SD card slot. So to turn the camera on, you basically press down on the top here, which is the viewfinder, and that will pop up like that. And it makes a little beep 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 to make sure that you know that it's turned on. So once you've done that, all the lights on the back light up and you're ready to go. It's got a red light indicator for the USB slot, which means that I don't have one in there at the moment. If you do have a micro USB inserted, then it saves all of the images that you take onto the card, and they are 10 megapixel, so you can keep them in digital form as well if you want. So it's a really simple camera to operate. Once you've got it turned on, you're basically going to look through the viewfinder and frame something up and press the shutter button, and that's it. It just makes a little beep. Obviously if you've got the flash turned on, then it will make a bit of a flash. The flash is right there, so you don't want to cover that with your finger. As soon as you take the shot, it's going to start printing out of that slot at the side, and it's already started now. It's pretty fast. It's also very quiet, which is cool. A lot of the times that you're going to be using it, it's going to be in a really loud situation anyway, so it doesn't really matter that, you know, it doesn't make a lot of noise. But as you can see, it's sort of starting to come out now, and it's just a shot of the camera setup, and I'm just basically showing you sort of how quick it prints. And there we go. So that took maybe 15 seconds, 20 seconds, something like that. And the image created is that. So it prints onto these little zinc paper cartridges. Well, they're not cartridges, they're sheets. But yeah, basically they are glossy paper, and on the back they have an adhesive piece of paper, so you can peel that off and actually stick them onto things like your fridge or your mirror, whatever you want, signposts, whatever. One thing I've found about it is the shots I've taken with the flash tend to come out a little bit better. I think it just has a better idea of the exposure it's getting when you use the flash, and it's a little bit more reliable. So I've found that a few of the shots taken with natural light can be very dark and sort of underexposed, and then at other times they'll be horribly overexposed and just blow the details right out of your shot. But there is no way to enable the flash. So you basically have to trust that the camera knows what it's doing and hope for the best. So the three color settings on there are black and white, full color, and sepia. So some of them turn out a bit better than the others, in my opinion. I've found that the black and white tends to look the best, especially in very low light situations. You tend to get a pretty decent shot with the black and white, whereas the full color and the sepia can look a bit dodgy. The flash also has a very short range, so you don't want to be trying to shoot your friend who's 12 feet over there, because it just won't get it right. It needs a person to be right in the middle of the frame and pretty close to you. I've also found that the viewfinder can be a little bit inaccurate. Obviously it's going to be a bit inaccurate because it's a viewfinder and it's not looking straight through the lens of what you're going to get. So I found that when you frame it up, you really sort of need to aim a little bit higher than what you're expecting, because the lens is mounted below. You need to aim up just a little bit if you want to get that face fully filling the frame. So just remember that when you're shooting them. It also has quite a cool little mode where you hold down the shutter button for 2 seconds, and then it beeps for 10 seconds, and then every few seconds it will take a shot. So you'll get one, and then the second, and then the third, and the fourth, and it basically fills them onto the one sheet of paper, so you get 4 shots on the one sheet. Zero ink or zinc paper made by Polaroid is not the cheapest, but I managed to pick up 100 sheets on eBay for $40 plus delivery fee, so it works out, not too bad really when you consider, the fun that you can have with it. The more you buy, the better the value, obviously. You really want to try and, I guess, stock up and take like a couple of packs when you go out and take the camera with you, because you really chew through them. You end up just taking photos of everything, and everyone wants their photo taken with it, so you want to take a few packs with you. So the cost of the camera itself, I paid $140 for it plus delivery. To New Zealand that was $20, so it's not terribly cheap. I know that Polaroid make other cameras, or Fujifilm, they make Instax, I think it is, that they're much cheaper, and they definitely satisfy in that way. The reason I like this one is because it doesn't look so ugly. You've got like those Instax ones which are like big, like handfuls, and they just look ugly, and they don't fit in your pocket, and you can't really just casually sort of take them out with you. Whereas like if you're wearing a jacket or something like that, you can quite easily just sort of sit that in there, and it just sits in really nicely. And it just looks nice. It's just a nice shape, it's a nice size. In terms of uses for this camera, you don't really want to be using it for some sort of serious photography purpose, I guess. It's more of a fun little camera that you can take and share with people in social situations. It's a 10 megapixel camera when you have a micro SD inserted, but the quality and the exposure of those photos is very hit and miss. So it's more of a toy, and it's a fun toy. I definitely don't regret buying it. A lot of people ask me where I got it, and they're interested in getting one themselves. I've had a lot of fun with it, and it's a cool, fun little camera, and pretty much justified for the price, I guess, depending how much money you've got, but I've been pretty satisfied. Thanks very much for watching, and if you like this review, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, then put them in the comments and I will try my best to answer them. See you next time. Welcome to another normal review. This one is for the Polaroid Snap Instant Camera. Let me just start off by apologising for the sound of the rain. It's a very rainy day here, and I'm filming this in my garage, so I apologise for that, and I hope you can hear me okay. So the Polaroid Snap I've had for a couple of months now, and I found it to be a lot of fun in social situations like going out and hanging out with friends, and even taking to work if you just want to waste a bit of time and get some snaps of your co-workers. The body I've got is the white finish, which I think is quite nice and crisp. It also comes in red, blue and black versions, so you've got the choice of those 4 colours. So the body itself, I'm just going to give you a little tour using my phone. So you can see here at the back you've got the slot, which basically you open